Hi, my name's Synchronize. I was hoping to make a continuation video from the last video I had done on the conscious and ego, the conscious mind and the ego, sorry. Um, so I kind of wanted to um, teach people more about the unknown of themselves and how to learn about themselves and come to understand themselves so that they can live a better life. I also am hoping to just say my thoughts so that way I can also rewatch these videos and be able to understand myself better as well. Last video I had actually rewatched that video 3 or 4 times just so I could approach it from different angles and cross-examine ideas that I had. So an example being, I had watched the video just to understand my speech pattern and see if I could change anything. And that's what this video is going to be about, how to alter yourself, and how to actually change. Because I feel like a lot of people change, but they want to change, they really do, but they just don't know where to start. So I hope to make these videos in order to give you guys and myself something to some place to start their perhaps journey of life. Maybe not, that might be a bit arrogant to say. I don't want to come across that way. And again, I'm not a psychiatrist or anything like that. I've taken next to no psychology classes. This is all just self-reflection and constant thinking about how to better myself and experiences that I have had that have allowed me to change my life for in a positive way. So I decided to include a list this time of a general outline of what the video is going to be about. I literally wrote this like 30 minutes ago when I was work. I work in the mornings, at nights. So I had finished work early, so I was able to write this out. And this is actually a good starting point in my opinion. So we'll start with the introductions. Hi again, I'm Synchronize. I'll give a brief introduction. I'm actually from England, the UK. Looks something like this. Ooh, Scotland looks funky, but there's Wales. Something like that. That's where London is. I wasn't born in London, but draw Ireland here. Enclave. So I was actually born near the border, near Liverpool here. I was born in a small town near Manchester called Warrington. It's pretty much Manchester. From Manchester. I lived in England 4 years of my life before I moved. That's why I don't have an accent. I can seldom bring it out, but hey, that doesn't matter too much for the video. But I had moved to, I suppose I should move this so it makes more sense. There. I had moved to Canada when I was young, around 4 years old. Oh, I manhandled Quebec there. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. It's Vancouver Island. Um, so I actually live in the province of Saskatchewan. I had moved here when I was 4, and I live here now. And I go to university, the University of Saskatchewan. If any of my friends or colleagues are watching this, hi. Uh, I suppose I should give some fun facts maybe about Saskatchewan. It's a relatively small province. It's not small, but it's very lightly populated, not densely populated in any way. Some fun facts about it are it's the only university in Canada that has a particle accelerator, and the only particle accelerator in Canada that's synchrotron, to my knowledge. Um, it's a lot of cancer research started in Saskatchewan. Most social reforms in Canada had started in Saskatchewan. Um, Most of the United States and Canada's uranium comes from Saskatchewan. It's got the largest mine in the world for it. We are currently producing most of the world's supply of potash, which is that salt that you put on the roads in order to get rid of snow and other stuff like that. But I suppose I should drop the small talk now that we're done the introduction and gotten a little bit of trivia there. So I want to today talk about the subconscious. This is it's the part of your mind that it's basically more like it's like your unconscious mind, like when you're asleep, but it's that when you're awake. I know it doesn't make much sense, so I'll give an example. When I am working at my job and I begin to get into like that workflow, you start to just do you do your job. You feel like you're not really there almost. It's just your body it just moves. It doesn't feel like you're doing anything. It's automatic. It's a good way to put your subconscious is it's your autopilot. Your conscious is your controlled steering, and your subconscious is the autopilot. I would a more conscious person, so a person that's more self-aware of themselves, probably doesn't drift off into their subconscious as often as a person that is driven more by their ego. And you should watch the last video if you haven't already on that topic. It will give you a better groundwork for this video, and how to explain and understand it, sorry. So I wrote here the art of self-hypnosis. And I know hypnosis, it is a real thing. But when you think of it, you think of like the TV shows where they got the watch and they're putting it in someone's face, the pocket watch, and it swings, and then they go like zombie mode. That is actually, I believe, how it's done in real life as well. But self-hypnosis is a little different. Self-hypnosis is where you drift off into your subconscious, so that state where you're in autopilot. And when you're in that state, if you can become self-aware of the subconscious, you can change yourself quite rapidly, like insanely fast. Your subconscious is like 80% of your day that's awake anyways, not spent sleeping, because that's obviously like a third of your day, a fourth of your day, a fifth of your day if you're pushing it. But a good chunk of your day is spent in your subconscious mind, that state of autopilot. It's because we're animals. Most animals that aren't self-aware are in a state of an ego-driven subconscious, I would say, perhaps, because they just do. They don't think. So think of it like that, if you will. I want to provide more examples of what it is other than just my work. Have you ever been driving a car and it's boring as hell driving, isn't it? Like, unless you're driving fast or you're needing to, you're in a unfamiliar situation, you're uncomfortable, or you're perhaps talking to someone. Even then, even if you're talking to someone, you can be in your subconscious. But think of that. So while you're on a highway and you're just driving, there's no cars on the road, and you just drift off, don't you? It's like you stop thinking and just you just drive the road. You become more unaware of your surroundings as you just drive, but it doesn't, it feels safe almost. It feels comfortable. I feel like that's a more common way to explain it to people and even myself. So, I think the car one is the best, but I'm just thinking for people that, if there is anyone that's watching this who isn't able to drive or has never driven before, everyone's been to school. Even if you're a dropout, you've been at least to some extent school. So imagine when you're listening to a teacher and it gets really boring, right? Usually it doesn't happen on the first couple days because you feel like on the first week you're more you do well in school. You probably find because you're more conscious of your actions and you usually try to do well at the first month to a week to a month, I'd say. But after that, if I can't think, but it's when you're listening to a teacher speak and it just gets really monotonous and boring. You just drift off, don't you? You just feel like a zombie, and that's you going into the subconscious mind. Most people are very unaware of it. It's normal to be unaware of your subconscious. Don't feel like you're weird for not knowing it. It is you. Most people, everyone doesn't really know about their brain and how it functions and what and who they are and their place in the universe. So this is why I'm making this again. So you can hopefully understand that this is your spaced out mind, basically.